Good afternoon from Guy Havord and welcome to Vicarage Road for this championship match between Watford and Oxford United. Both sides had tough away games in midweek. The home supporters hoping that they will see a victory from their team today. Their coach, one of the first in. Watford went to Portsmouth and couldn't hang on to a lead in midweek, but they were happy with the point in the end. Here at Vicarage Road, they are a match for most teams in the championship. The coach, Pezzolano, and the fans, though, want to see their side a lot higher in the table. 18th at the start of October certainly was not what they were hoping for. Oxford players happy to get a clean sheet at last at Queen's Park Rangers in midweek. Enough to get them out of the relegation places going into this weekend's matches. Gary Rowett trying to evolve the team a little bit, wants to play a bit more on the front foot, but he knows he and these players will be judged really by whether they can stay out of the bottom three. So good afternoon and welcome to Vicarage Road for this Sky Bet Championship match between Watford and Oxford United. A fixture that hasn't been played much in the last couple of decades, with Oxford outside the top two divisions in England for so long. Some matches from earlier today. In fact, all three teams below Oxford in the championship have been in action. 12:30 kickoffs. They've all finished. An extraordinary scoreline at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Coventry 5. Coventry go top of the table. There were further protests against the Sheffield Wednesday owner, including a pitch invasion there. Blackburn Rovers drew with Stoke at Ewood Park, 1-1 the full time, and Hull beat Sheffield United. So what that means for the league table is that Oxford are back in the bottom three ahead of this game. Blackburn have just gone above them with their draw. We've got plenty of games kicking off around England at 3 o'clock, including Middlesbrough's trip to Portsmouth. They can go back on top of the table. Vicarage Road was buzzing at the full-time whistle last Saturday, with Watford coming from behind to beat Hull City. They are hoping for more of the same against Oxford United today. Visiting fans on the road for the second time this week. West London on Wednesday, Hertfordshire today. Not the most exciting game at Queen's Park Rangers, but 0-0, clean sheet and a point. And generally, Oxford were pretty satisfied with that. Results in recent times have been mixed. The draw, as I said, against Queen's Park Rangers, but they were beaten by Sheffield United last week. But they have had good results against Bristol City and Leicester in recent times. Watford, I spoke about that win here against Hull last week. A draw at Portsmouth, 2-1 up they were for quite some time before conceding a late equaliser. But they have also had defeats in the not too far distant memory of losing against Millwall and Blackburn Rovers. So it's a mixed bag for Watford. And a lot of these supporters feel that they need to be convinced that this is going to be the season many had hoped for at the start. Investment in new players, a new coach as well. But it is still relatively early days. He's nicely covered up as the rain comes down in Hertfordshire. First Saturday of October, it has a feel of deep autumn heading towards winter. How will these two sides fare? Mixed bag for them last year. Oxford really enjoyed their first season back in the championship. Bit of a struggle at times, but a change of manager, and things really did improve after Christmas. Gary Rowett guiding Oxford to safety in the championship. Watford spent most of the season stuck in the middle. Tom cleverly unable to get them into the playoffs, and as a result he lost his job at the end of the season. Well, they're ready to come out. Vicarage Road filling up. Oxford fans excited about this latest trip for them. Positives in midweek at Queen's Park Rangers, but can they find one, maybe even two goals here this afternoon against Watford to turn a draw into a win? Watford head coach Paolo Pezzolani has only had 8 league games in England so far, but he's yet to win over some of the Hornets supporters here. This despite the fact that they won their last game here against Hull City and might have collected another 3 points again at Portsmouth in midweek, but had to settle for a draw. Since Gary Rowett arrived at Oxford back in December, he's been desperate for his team to be a lot more competitive on the road. And the last 2 outings suggest they may be getting there. Wednesday's first clean sheet of the season at Queen's Park Rangers came after they'd gone to Bristol City in the previous away game and won comfortably. Can they back up those results today against Watford? Both sides begin the day in the wrong half of the table. And in fact, Oxford United have slipped back into the bottom 3 after Blackburn's draw earlier today at Ewood Park. Interesting team news for Watford. Nestori Irangunda, who was criticised by his manager after his reaction to being substituted after just 35 minutes in midweek, starts today. Paolo Pezzolano, though, makes 4 changes elsewhere. Rocco Vata, who did so well after coming on for Irangunda at Portsmouth, starts from the off today. There's a first Watford start for former Leicester midfielder Papi Mende. Oxford boss Gary Rowett said he would be making rare changes to his starting 11 after the draw at QPR in midweek. There are 3 in total, all out wide. Greg Lee comes in for Jack Curry at left back, while Siriki Dembele and Stanley Mills will give Oxford fresh attacking legs on the flanks. And there he is, the man of the moment. Irangunda was less than impressed at being substituted before half-time, the Australian international. There was a lot of talk post-match, but his coach says that is all now water under the bridge. And he gets a vote of confidence to go out there and do what he's done so well since he's come to English football. The man who's hit the ground running with his new team is Will Lancashire, on loan from Tottenham Hotspur. Top scorer for Oxford this season. Lewis Smith, our referee, took charge of pre-scoring Coventry in midweek. Scored 4 at Millwall. That seemed an impressive result. Coventry going and scoring 5 on the road today at Sheffield Wednesday. Well, we've got a little bit of Elton John in the background. Who did so much to revive Watford all those decades ago. And his beloved team about to get underway, in need of a run of victories really to move up the table and push towards the playoff places that this club believes that they deserve to be. So Watford get us underway. Just Oxford's 2nd trip to Vicarage Road in over 26 years. But the previous one was less than a year ago, before Gary Rowett arrived at the Kazam Stadium. Watford won here by a single goal. And the 2 sides did play at the Kazam Stadium. It was Oxford who won by a single goal to 0. Siriki Dembele was the match winner for Oxford, and he is back in their starting lineup today. One of the changes that Gary Rowett made after the draw at Queen's Park Rangers. He picked the same team for 3 successive matches, so pretty reluctant to change, but spent a lot of time in his press conferences talking about fatigue and recovery. And it was a question of having to bring in some fresh legs. He has a much deeper squad than he had when he inherited the team just before Christmas, so he does have options. This is Abankwah. On field to Vata, who came on 10 minutes before half-time at Fratton Park and did such an impressive job. Initially with an assist and then with a goal. Interesting to see what role he plays today. We saw him pick it up deep and trying to thread it through here. And they have a lot of attacking players in this starting 11, Watford. And they are a little bit exposed here. Siriki Dembele runs at Elaine, who does well, stuck to his task. Well, he'll be determined to prove the manager wrong. Siriki Dembele, he sat on the bench in recent matches, just his second start of the season in the Championship. Came on as a substitute at Queen's Park Rangers to join his brother, who plays for Queen's Park Rangers, on the pitch. So Oxford, who've been terrific again this season from set plays, just take a bit of time here to work things out. The referee slowing it down as well. Ryan de Keersmaker has been terrific with his delivery since his arrival from the Netherlands during the summer. And it goes towards the near post, looking for a flick on. It's been flicked into the back of the net. And I think that might be an own goal. They go towards the corner taker, de Keersmaker. He's got 2 assists this season. His set plays have been so dangerous. And he has helped give Oxford a really early lead here at Vicarage Road. Gareth Rowett just having a look to see maybe who got the final touch. Not that he will care too much. Yeah, it's an own goal. Max Elaine it is, who got just enough to beat his goalkeeper, Selvik. And for the 7th time this season, Oxford United have scored from a set play. Well, the Watford head coach spoke about a fast start for his team. It hasn't come. Will he come again? But the flag has gone up against the Oxford man. But what a start. And what a disappointing beginning for Pezzolano. He got a bit of flack down at Fratton Park from the travelling supporters when he made that substitution 10 minutes before half-time. Number 2 saying, "You don't know what you're doing." And as it turned out, it was a inspired substitution, because Rocco Vata came on for Iran Gunda, got an assist and a goal. So maybe the coach did know what he's doing, but I think he's well aware that he needs to get a few more points and wins in the bank to fully win over the home supporters. First yellow card of the afternoon has gone to Cameron Brannigan, Oxford's skipper this season. And they will have to defend a set play. Who's gone forward. Kevin as well. Brannigan will hope that his foul isn't punished still further here with a Watford equaliser. Plenty of options, edge of the penalty area. In it goes, but keeper only able to punch. Mende finding Iran Kunda. Good ball towards the near post, and well, it's side netting in the end. Loser it was, breaking from midfield. And he's been their talisman in recent games. Not too far away from a third goal inside 3 matches for Imran Louza. Captain certainly has led by example in recent times. After a summer in which they feared they might lose him. Confirmation of that yellow card for the Watford skipper. It's worth noting that a couple of yellow cards were hugely influential when these two sides last met at the Kazam Stadium. James Abankwah, and the ball here, picked up 2 yellow cards in 12 minutes, got sent off, and from that Oxford scored a few minutes later through Siriki Dembele and went on to win that game. It was a big win as well for Oxford. It was their first win in 10 matches and really kick-started their recovery away from the relegation places. And for Watford, a huge blow because they would have gone on the brink of the playoff places. Here they come again. Dembele, what a space for him. In towards Lancashire, goes for goal. Dembele tries to follow up, but it's thumped away rather desperately from the Watford defence, who've been opened up again. Nice way to pass from Dembele. Lancashire didn't have the best of angles, it has to be said. And he is a striker who loves to shoot whenever he gets the ball. Just intent on scoring goals, and if Oxford can find a striker who can get even 10 plus, they will be delighted. He's leading the way for them currently with 3 goals. And those goals are coming really early in the game as well. So far this season for Watford in the Championship. Jeremy Ngakia has gone across to take it. Noah Lane would love to get a touch that goes past the other goalkeeper from this corner. There's the man at the near post, very similar to where he was defending a few minutes ago. This one goes to the back post though, too much on it. Do some goals from Iran Kunda today. He's managed a couple so far, the teenager. Really has been an exciting arrival at Vicarage Road. £2.5 million from Grasshoppers. Raw ability, a lot of attributes as well. He's young, and they believe there's a real high ceiling for him. Leading at Derby thanks to Armstrong. Oxford leading at Watford thanks to that own goal. Max Elaine. Brannigan. Greg Lee. Feed it up to Lancashire. This is Louza. And Kunda will chase, but it wasn't the best of passes. Gloves are no longer needed. Australian in England in October. to get to December, mate. It's Vatter from distance. Awkward bounce in front of the goalkeeper coming. Well, Vatter scored in midweek, and he's keen to show that he should be starting regularly for Watford. It was swerving, it was dipping, and Cumming couldn't totally trust how the ball would come off the turf. He did well to get it away from danger. Bankwa. Mendy. Towards Kunda. Too close to the goalkeeper coming. Delighted with his clean sheet at long last, but gives the ball away cheaply there to Bankwa. Vatter had a quick look up, digs it across, and oh, it's not the best header from Lee. Kunda is there, and so too was Semedo. Oxford got away with one there. Semedo over the crossbar. Good work here by Vatter. Picked out what he wanted to do, but Lee's header was really weak. Semedo was falling backwards. Even so, really good opportunity for Watford. Semedo scored his first goal for the Hornets in the last game here at Vicarage Road. Wiley. Mills got back at the expense of a corner. Watford have got over the early shock of conceding that own goal. A good few minutes here and might be level. Here coming across to take the latest corner. Vatter on hand for a short one. Towards the edge of the area, but Loser never really got the ball under control quickly enough to get a shot away. And Ngakia. Found by Elaine. He had to turn it behind for another corner. Wasn't quite sure with the angles. Ngakia did well here to just dig out any sort of cross really with his left foot. The action in that penalty area. Cumming waits. Doesn't come for this one. Cleared away by one of his defenders. This is Loser. Vatter. Loser. Ngakia. Bankwa available. Castellano is getting the fast start now that he's been asking for ahead of this game, but it's a little bit late. 1-0 down. Did come from behind last week against Hull City after Ollie McBurney, who's been among the goals in the Championship. Put the visitors ahead. Loser and Semedo. Watford grab all 3 points. So they've been here before. Kunda. Scored some spectacular goals already this season, but unable to hit the target on that occasion. reasons Pezzolano substituted him. Down at Portsmouth was he felt he looked fatigued and the energy wasn't there. He's a youngster fresh to a new league, and he'd also done a lot of travelling with Australia. They had played games against Canada and the USA, so maybe he was suffering from that. But it is rare, isn't it, to see a coach take anyone off for anything other than an injury in the first half of a match. Here's Macca, just a little bit late with his challenge on Mendy. Wiley. Vata. Semedo with the header. I mentioned that less than exciting draw that Oxford had at Queen's Park Rangers in midweek, 0-0. Gary Rowett was absolutely delighted to get a clean sheet. It was their first clean sheet of the season. And remarkably, Watford came into this game without a single clean sheet this season. Obviously, that will be continuing as Oxford go looking for a second goal here. Just a bit too much pace off the surface for Nick Prelec to get on the end of it. Scored his first goal in English football at Bristol City recently. Slovenian forward is touching the ball off here, slightly loose, but dealt with by Helik. This is Lee. Well, this was the goal. Lane going with his head, didn't he? And then in the end went with his foot. And the goalkeepers always hate to be beaten at the near post, but I think you have an excuse when it's one of your own players. You're just not anticipating that. Here comes Wiley for Watford. Across the 6-yard box, and Semedo dummied it for some reason. Maybe he got a call or just sensed that he wasn't able to take it with him towards goal. Good burst here by Wiley, and that was a flick, wasn't it, Semedo? That's what he was trying. Just flicking it almost from behind him. Watford corner. Cummings is struggling. Oh, he got away with that one. Oxford get it clear to the edge of the area. Ngakia. Oh, he's asked a lot of Elaine, who does well. They didn't want to lose it there, Watford. Oxford players were pounced for a counter-attack. Oh, he's got such fabulous delivery, Imran Louza. He nearly scored directly from the corner. It was a really weak, mistimed punch from Jamie Cumming. Got away with it, though. Hampshire is fouling over on that far side in front of the dugouts. Watford free kick. Mendy. Semedo. More that he could do with that than just bring it into the 6-yard box. Vata wins it back for Watford. Twisting and turning and going for goal. He had so many options around him. And several just threw their arms up in the air with frustration that the young Republic of Ireland international went for glory. Look at all the players and the options he has. Loser on the edge. It would have been the simpler task to just ease it across to him. 20 years of age, Rocco Vata. Second season with the club, having signed from Celtic, where his dad Rudy was a popular figure. Manquist showing his strength. Lancashire playing it almost instinctively out to that far side to Dembele. He's got a call, or maybe one of his teammates relayed a message to him, but unable to execute it. Dembele's got defending to do now over on that far side. Greg Lee. Semedo. Kunda. One was from Riley down this near side, unable to pick him out. And Hellick is breaking for Oxford. Michael Hellick, the big centre half. Not the best of passes for De Keersmaker, who tried to return it to Hellick. He scores most of his goals with his head, the big defender. He was so impressive last year after arriving from Huddersfield in January. One of the key players, if not the key player, to keeping them in the Championship last year. 5 goals in half a season for Oxford from centre half. A couple of goals also for Huddersfield prior to that move. Dembele. Lee. It's a long ball forward and Vata is chasing it. He's into the penalty area. Can he get past the defender? He can't. Watford still have it, but look at the number of shirts that have come back to defend their goal. Loser in towards the back post, but it's comfortable for coming. Gets it away really quickly. And Oxford not settling on this one goal that they've had. Only defeat this season for the Hornets was against Blackburn Rovers a few weeks ago. Got a good draw here against Southampton, and in that win last week against Hull City. Oxford came here trying to kick against history. So far they've been successful. Scoring from that set piece from a corner, the 7th goal that they'd scored this year. They were equal with Coventry at the start of the weekend. And last season as well, only Derby scored more set piece goals than Oxford. They managed 21 in their 46 games last year. Here come Watford once more. Kunda. Semedo! They want a penalty. And he's clutching his foot, indicating that he feels he was caught late. The referee unmoved. Lewis Smith. Good opportunity. 2 best opportunities have fallen to Semedo. Managed to hit the target on this occasion. was a lunge, wasn't it, from Spence? He knew he wasn't quite getting there. Maybe just got a bit of the ball. Semedo is troubled. And he has a lot of options on the bench. Odro Bar would be one of them. You feel to possibly replace him if Semedo doesn't make it. Gary Rowett will be delighted with what he's seen so far from his team in the opening 27 minutes. Not just the goal that was scored for them, but the fact that they've looked positive on the ball when they have gone forward. He's trying to evolve this team. It was a little bit basic last year. It was all about set plays and clean sheets and just getting over the line and avoiding relegation. They're in such trouble when he arrived. He's got in players of greater quality, or more quality anyway, a deeper squad. And Gary Rowett is convinced that they certainly are more of a threat going forward, but as he tries and gives them more attacking intent, so they have lost a little bit of that defensive solidity. Look at the goal here again. Lane will know that he should have really cleared it either behind for a goal kick, a corner I should say, or probably was looking to put it out for a throw-in. He was under no real pressure. He has been really good in recent times since his move from Manchester City during the summer on loan. He was the Under-21 Player of the Year last season. Rivaldo Semedo limping at the moment. Will he be able to come back on? He wants to know what's going on. Is he okay to return? Do I need to make a substitution? Usually the communication is really good between physio and the bench, even when there is considerable distance, as there is here. I think the player wants to carry on, doesn't he? Just needs to maybe give it a few seconds, but won't want to be with 10 men for too much longer. Let's wins the corner. And he's one of those players who've given them a little more going forward. On loan from Cagliari with an option to buy. Just didn't quite have the pace here to get away from Abanqua. Kiersmacher with the corner. Not back in by Mills. And Watford are struggling a bit here. Oh, they're standing and leaving for each other. Eventually they get it clear, and the referee will give Watford a free kick, and it's a yellow card. Stanley Mills, I think, is the man who is penalised here. Yes, it is. Trying to stop a potential counter-attack there for Watford. He spent most of 2025 on the subs bench at the start of matches, so he is really keen to impress from the start today. Goals for him last season in that move away from the relegation problems. Talking of problems, is he going to make it to half-time? Not looking good, is it, for Rivaldo Semedo? Here's how he got injured. Spencer coming across, and does he get anything on the ball, Spencer? Stretching here. Sure he does, you know. Pesolano has preempted, I think, events. Luca Quirongo is coming on. And that's the end for A really disappointed Semedo. So many happy memories of his last game here when he scored his first goal in English football. But he's having to limp off. It's the second early substitution of the week for Watford, but this one is purely down to injury. Rumgaard comes on. Scored a couple of goals here against Queen's Park Rangers on his league debut back in August, a Danish under-21 international. Ibankwa. Wiley. It's a good cross in by Wiley. Might come for Loser. Oh, it's rare for his first touch to be as poor as it was there. You're not going to get too much time in a penalty area in the Championship. Managed to get a shot away, but it was here. The ball got away from him initially. He's got enough tools in his locker to manipulate it from the edge of the penalty area. We've seen that in his time in English football, but not on that occasion. Struggling here, got a foot on it, but before that he'd given away a free kick. High up the pitch, Michael Helik. Ibankwa, winning Loser. Shit. Loser to take it. Comfortably away by Prelette. This is Vata for Watford. Across this edge of the penalty area it goes. Vata once more. Iran Kunda. Loser. Ibankwa. Dominating possession, surprisingly, home team. Watford having that early lead. Watford do have one of the lowest average possession this season in the Championship. A former Leicester City player, but they actually signed him after he left Lens during the summer. Just to play Paid £13 million for him a few years ago, Senegalese international. Mills trying to go around Wiley, both men claiming it came off the other. He is the winner in that particular debate. Selvik hasn't had too much to do in the Watford goal, apart from pick the ball out of the back of the net after 3 minutes of this game. The side of, as we've seen, dominated possession. A couple of good chances that have fallen the way of the man who's now departed, Rivaldo Semedo. Vata. Kunda is chasing, he's quick, but he's not that quick. We're still going here. Oxford have got a free kick and maybe they want a little bit more. Kevin was late with his challenge. Was it a clear goal-scoring opportunity? That's what the referee is thinking about. He's giving himself some time here, Lewis Smith. Kevin lost the ball and then brought down Lancashire. There's a Banquet covering defender. It's only a yellow card for Kevin, who may consider himself slightly fortunate there. Well, that would have been catastrophic either way for Watford. A red card or a possible second goal for Oxford, as Wilshere would have possibly been one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Still an opportunity here for Oxford to double their lead. Cameron Brannigan has scored some wonderful free kicks during his time. Not on this occasion. Frustrated with himself. The goals already this season for Cameron Brannigan, who's always looked like a leader, hasn't he, for Oxford United in recent seasons. But it was only in September that he actually became the official club captain when Elliot Moore departed. Wearing 350 games for Oxford United. Loser back to Selvik. There's a heavy press here from Oxford. Banquet gets it clear. Loser. Mendy loses possession. Kiersmacher running into trouble. Watford looking to try and counter-attack here. Vata over on that far side. Sam Long with the sliding challenge. What a play it goes. Watford won an equaliser before half-time. The fans do, certainly. Iran Kunda. Irumgard. Irumgard waited for the ball to come to him. Oxford alive. This is Dembele. Spencer. Oh, he's given that away cheaply. Wiley coming forward. Iran Kunda. Wiley is onside and the ball will come over to Loser, who's got Vata edge of the penalty area, and Mendy as well. Loser once more. Vata. And Mendy as well. Loser once more. Vata. Wiley again. And Loser. Lee will try and get it clear for Oxford. Lane with the header for Watford. Mendy falls awkwardly. Ref says play on. Oxford chase hoping for an error here. Kevin does really well, and the referee sensing that this might be an injury that needs some treatment. Has indeed blown up now. Happy Mendy falling really awkwardly here. Goes up high and on his back. It's going to be winded. Came on as a substitute at half-time down at Portsmouth in midweek for Hector Cipriano. Cipriano, one of the subs today for Watford. Interesting to see if Pezzolano makes changes again at half-time. He's certainly not frightened to make changes early in a game. The Banquer goes back to his goalkeeper. Wins it back for Watford. There he is again. Man on loan from Chelsea. He actually came off at half-time at Portsmouth, but that was all planned, all pre-arranged. They are managing his minutes. Nearly gave the ball away. Good pressing by Wilshere, but he was on his own. Lancashire, I should say. Irankunda. Irankunda again. He's determined to make something happen. A teammate, or more likely for himself. He really seems determined to make an impression here today after what happened in midweek down at Fratton Park. Didn't reflect too well on him. This is Mendy. Now Banquer. Loser. It's a dangerous ball in. Oh, I think it might be another own goal, is it? Well, it's in anyway. And Ngakia with the final touch, and Watford have an equaliser on the stroke of half-time. Quickest to react at the back post. An unlikely scorer. His first of the season, and how Watford needed that. With a half-time whistle just about to come. Loser with the ball in. Came off a Oxford defender. I think that might have been an own goal, you know, before. And Ngakia arrived. It was off Lee. Cumming tried to pour it away. But Ngakia was there at the back post to rule out any real question of whether it went over or not in the first place. Now, Watford came from behind last week to win, and they do so again here at Vicarage Road. Oxford looking to respond in the final few minutes of this first half. 4 minutes of stoppage time due to that lengthy injury, a double one really, wasn't it, to Semedo, who had to go off for Watford. Kieran God came on, but it's the Watford wing-back, Jeremy Ngakia, who I'm sure will be heading straight to the monitor and to the laptop at half-time to see whether he will be credited with that goal. This man has just won for Watford so far in over 100 matches, so it will be something of real beauty for him. Wiley. Lose up. Kevin. Big moment when he picked up that yellow card and the referee thought about a possible red for a few moments. Wiley. Trying to get away from Mills, who stuck to his task well. At the start of the half, a goal at the end of the half, but we're not finished yet with just over a minute to go. Ngakia trying to be the goal provider here. Elaine trying to atone for his own goal earlier in the match. Referee once again not happy with what he's seeing. Lancashire getting a talking to. Ngakia with the corner, stroke of half-time, and Cummings is struggling. It's gone in. Straight from the corner. Well, if he didn't get the first one, he definitely got the second. Jeremy Ngakia, one goal in his entire career prior to today. Might have just got two. In a few minutes, Jamie Cumming at fault for the goal, there's no doubt about that. It's gone straight in. Delight for Selvik at the other end of the ground, and what a change in this match. Deep into stoppage time in the first half, and Ngakia Cumming really poor. Did he get fouled here? He's just not got enough on it. What extraordinary few minutes it's been here at Vicarage Road. And the players may have feared that there might be one or two boos when the whistle blew for half-time, but it's going to be anything but that. Well, it's a late challenge from Helik. He's born out of frustration maybe and a fear that Iran Kunda was getting away from him. Looking to create a third goal for Watford. Yellow card for the big centre half. It's all gone wrong for Oxford in recent moments. They need to just make sure they get to half-time at 2-1 now. Loser looking to turn the screw here for Watford. In towards the near post it goes. And Fata, wow. He'll claim that was a pass. There's half-time. What an extraordinary few minutes. Jeremy Ngakia, who had him down to be the star man in front of goal today. Not many. Elaine with an own goal early on that gave Oxford the lead from a corner. And they look to be defending that pretty well until the final few minutes. Ngakia scoring with a header at the back post, and then direct from a corner. It's Watford 2, Oxford 1. Roar from the home supporters. Oxford have been out for a little bit longer. Discussions continuing out on the pitch, how that game got away from them just before the break. And there is the man of the moment, Jeremy Ngakia. His only goal prior to today was against Sheffield Wednesday last season here in a 2-1 defeat in January. And then bang bang, stroke of half-time, 45 minutes, and then 4 minutes into stoppage time, he scores again direct from a corner. We've had an own goal, we've had a goal from a corner. What will the second half bring? Oxford, to get us underway, we'll hope there are more twists and turns in this match. Oxford with 16 shots during that first half, 70% possession, and they're on the front foot immediately with Vata. Now there are players arriving at the back post. So it might have been better had he just dragged his shot a little bit there. Angle wasn't particularly good for the Republic of Ireland international, but he's shown real positivity here at the start of the second half. Running at Spencer, trying to find that far corner. The boss spoke about a fast start. It was a fast finish for Watford after a very slow start to the game when they conceded through that corner. Here is Ngakia. He told his teammates he's on a hat-trick. He's nailed on for player of the match at the moment. Loser. Mendy. Mendy again. Kieran Good. Iran Kunda. Finding Loser. Who began the weekend 3 points off the relegation places, 4 points to the playoff places. Kieran Good, heavy touch from him, and his follow through caused a bit of mischief here for Spencer. Another substitute, understandably eager to make an impression. He is on loan currently at Watford from Udinese. And he's going to get a yellow card. Skipper Imran Loser just wanting to find out why. Just one win in the last 6 championship matches for Watford. They've collected just 5 points from a possible 18. So they need to string some wins together. The win last week here was what they hope will be the start of a good run, and the point at Portsmouth was not a bad one. They were 2-up in that game, conceded relatively late on. Segacic scoring from the edge of the penalty area. And the home fans frustrated, I think, with the delay, and so too Pesolano, the Uruguayan who has managed to get promotions in various different countries, Spain, Brazil, and in his homeland of Uruguay. A clear goal for him when he arrived during the summer was that he needed to make it 4 at the end of this season. It was intended for Mills, but Vata was there. Spencer's recovered and will take another throw in here. Not a lot of movement for him in Oxford black at the moment. It would have been a difficult gear change for Gary Rowett at half-time. He would have been preparing on 45 minutes to say, well done lads, 1-0 up. Here's what we do in the second half. And then before you know it, he's preparing a half-time speech to try and rouse them after falling behind. But they have shown a lot of character, Oxford, since Gary Rowett arrived at the club. They've been in virtually every game they played. If they do lose or if they do win, more often than not, it's by a single goal. There was an outlier in recent weeks when they went to Bristol City and registered a 3-1 victory. But it is their only win of the season so far. Aaron Kunda. That's the free kick. Scowl from Brannigan. Loses out, but Brannigan is there to help out his teammates. Two of the longest serving players at Oxford United. And Watford continue to dominate in terms of possession. Mills knew that he had a few yards, and most importantly was the right side of the ball, and could see off the challenge that he knew was coming from Caleb Wiley. Here as well last season from Chelsea, but picked up a shoulder injury, Wiley. It's been a difficult year for him in terms of fitness. That's why they are managing him carefully. We may see quite a few changes for Watford based on minutes, particularly where we've just come off the back of a first midweek in the Championship. Another yellow card, loser. Just questioning whether it was him. Dembele was the man who went down. Could have been a banquet. It's loser though. The skipper has a yellow. Who picked up 2 yellows when these two sides last met. Dembele with the cross, it's a huge one, and Helik has got long legs. Not that one. Been too many opportunities for Michal Helik to get forward in terms of corners. Himself. We saw one run that he made right at the start of the game. It's nearly created a An opportunity for Oxford. And here come the visitors. They can't shove it to Brannigan, and there was a missed kick. It comes to Dembele. And Lee puts it across the 6-yard box, but there was no Oxford player anywhere near it. And Dembele goes down. Ref says play on, so Mills does, and then Mendy gets it away for Watford. A messy passage of play, all just not breaking for the visitors on that occasion. Lee with the throw. Gakia got there first. Bodies in the penalty area, and Vatta will get on the end of it. Good save by the keeper coming. Horrible clearance though, and Loser falling backwards, frustrated with himself. And when it came to him, you sense that he's at least going to work the goalkeeper. He's that good. Not for getting plenty of bodies into the penalty area. Vatta with the initial shot. And then Loser just trying to collect it from behind him and slipping with his standing foot. Coming with the pass, it's slightly hesitant from Oxford, and they're in here, Watford. Irankunda couldn't convert. Well, it's not been good for Oxford at times at the back this afternoon. They conceded a horrible goal on the stroke of half-time, and Jamie Cumming on this occasion was so relieved that Watford, in the shape of Nestori Irankunda, didn't score a third goal this afternoon. Well, there's going to be changes coming for the visitors. Will Vaux is one of those who's coming on, and Shemi Puaheta. Stanley Mills departs, so Puaheta will play down that right-hand side in place of Mills. He's a regular starter for Oxford, but given a bit of a rest today. Mills hasn't really been able to impose himself on the game. With an opportunity here to get forward. And the shot will come in, but the angle wasn't particularly good. Puelets it was who just instinctively swung a boot at it, hoped maybe for a deflection or a rare moment of good fortune. He thinks there's another goal coming. Confirmation of those substitutions. Lancashire was the man going off for Vaux. Far from a direct replacement, Will Vaux, a midfielder. Interesting to see just how the formation changes for Oxford United. That's obviously the main focal point now on his own, but he has support from Dembele, maybe getting forward a bit more. But it's Watford coming forward, looking for a third goal, and it's in towards the head of Vatta. Just couldn't generate enough power. More importantly, find the direction. Loser with a worrying-looking strain of the leg at the moment as he played that ball forward for Irungood. Lovely ball in. Maybe needed to be the other way around, and the big number 9 being on the end of that cross. A little bit weak from Vatta. Well, who's going to score the next goal? We head up to the hour mark. Oxford into the area it goes again. And Gakia gets it away, and the shot comes in from Puaheta. Just angling away from goal. Well, he scored some beauties from round about that range. Scored one a few weeks ago against Bristol City at Ashton Gate, on the way to a rare away victory for Oxford United. He's still struggling a little bit, just rubbing the top of his leg. Good, does really well, and this is Vatter. It's another shot that fails to work the goalkeeper. Well, they have got into some really good positions, Watford, all afternoon. Vatter taking touches, but getting underneath it. +20 shots today for Watford. We've only just ticked over the hour mark. Not even sure that you would count that corner as a shot where they actually scored the goal before half-time. Wiley against the fresh legs of Quaheta. Just plays it downfield and hopes for an error here. Spencer clears. Loser. Ngaki shoots a cry so he can possibly get a hat-trick, but it's Oxford who are looking to counter-attack with Dembele. Frelick had to just check his run. I think he's straight offside, and Oxford have got a lot of bodies behind the ball now. Greg Lee. Will Vauxhall, second season with the club after leaving Sheffield Wednesday in 2024. An experienced player. Quaheta as the substitute has come on, who you would most expect to create a goal or maybe even score one from an Oxford point of view. Abankwa, back to Loser. Kieran Good does well. Vatter chases, keeper comes. Vatter scored in midweek. You'll be wondering how he hasn't scored this Saturday afternoon. Assist as well for Watford's number 11 down at Fratton Park. Abankwa. Loser. 22 shots now, counting. Looking for number 23 here, Watford. Most importantly, they're looking to try and give themselves a bit of breathing space. Over halfway and finding Dembele. Brannigan. for Heta. Brannigan puts it towards the back post. What a fantastic recovery. The shot will come in. Brilliant save by the goalkeeper. Selvik was down, got himself up really quickly and saved from the edge of the penalty area. Oxford so close to equalising. This is Brannigan. Dembele can't get on the end of it. Vaux getting the ball back. Lee. Another good ball to the back post, with a little bit too much pace on this one, and Helik cannot retrieve it, keep it in play. Well, there's been a mixed bag for the goalkeepers this afternoon, but that was a really good save by Selvik, who came here and Heta struck it through a sea of bodies. Not sure initially how much the Watford keeper would have seen of that. And they've got a lot of catching up to do in terms of shots in this game, have Oxford, but Heta certainly has come on and shown real intent. Kurzmacher, Dembele, won't come for Lee. Gaki with the interception. Vaux with the throw-in for Oxford, looking for this equaliser. Helik is in there, but it's comfortably won by Kirungod. And again, the Danish under-21 international gets it clear, but not quite as effective this time round. Just the first signs of Watford, maybe not exactly sitting back, but just being a little bit passive, and I think the coach has sensed that and is going to make changes to try and give them some fresh legs. Brannigan. Dembele. Mendy with the clearance, but it sort of goes as much sideways as forwards. Kurzmacher. Heta going for goal again, but this is comfortable. Wiley. One of those who just got 45 minutes in midweek against Portsmouth. Interesting to see who comes off for Watford. They have the lead, but the Uruguayan coach will probably want them to be a bit more on the front foot and go looking for a third goal. A good spell this for Oxford. Dembele. Just doing enough here for Watford. It was there that Jeremy Ngakia scored in the first half. Kurzmacher created a goal from a corner in the first half as well, and this is finding a teammate, but Lee was stretching at that back post and never really had much ability to control it and get it back into the danger area. So here come the changes. It's the end for Rocco Vata. No goal for him this afternoon. But a good round of applause. Showing a lot of endeavour. Edu Kaembe is the man replacing him. it is the end for Caleb Wiley. And a like-for-like replacement as well, with Jeremy Petrie coming on. Just heading to that wing-back position. Loser coming off, which is a bit of a blow. He suffered that injury, didn't he, at the start of the half, and he's replaced by Musa Sissoko. If you want someone experienced to come in and replace you, you can't get much better than Sissoko. 36 years of age. Second spell at the club. 20 minutes for he and his teammates to... Well, how will they approach this? Will they try and see the game out? They're certainly not going to take too many chances, are they? Musa Sissoko started the game down at Fratton Park in midweek. But obviously, he'll have to manage his minutes more than probably anyone else in the squad. Tempted back to Vicarage Road by Tom Cleverley, a former teammate from the Premier League years, and Cleverley was manager. Hugely popular character, former Manchester United man, but unfortunately lost his job during the summer after Watford were unable to gate-crash the playoffs. Side of his boot on that occasion. Frustration for Gary Rowett. Tom Bradshaw there to the right of the picture, an attacking option for Oxford. A centre forward who Rowett had at Millwall. Bradshaw not even able to make the bench in recent games. Gary Rowett saying my squad is that deep now that really sad when he sees the likes of Tom Bradshaw, Louis Sibley come in and train, shake everybody by the hand, smile on their face, train during the week, and then I can't even get them in the matchday squad on a Saturday. But on this occasion, Bradshaw has made the bench. He will be hoping just for a few minutes. Waits as Jack Curry is coming on, and he is replacing Greg Lee. And again, I'm sure is down to sort of managing players. Lee and Curry have swapped that full-back position this season. It's a great battle. He nails it down. God is offside. It would have been Sissoko who might be in a fantastic position to make it 3-1. Long ball forward. Pueheta chases. Pueheta's in here. Oh, he's missed the target. And Oxford have missed a golden opportunity to draw the game level at 2-2. Well, the substitute, lightning quick, we know that. But he just couldn't find the composure at the important moment. Will they get a better chance? With the header. Pueheta with the flick, came off Sissoko last, and to be a throw into the visitors. Still 15 minutes to go. Oxford have managed to score more than once on a few games this season. Those were a real struggle for them last season anyway. But there was a bit more swagger about them going forward. Kayembe with the shots. Was coming, gonna get it. Yes, another effort from distance in this game. Closer than many. Kayembe. Just a yard or so wide. Sweet contact though from the substitute. Yet to score this season. Was in among the goals last year though. So he had his best season for scoring. Brilets. Click. Has got two in front of him at the moment. Comes in field and to Dembele it goes. He gets the shot away. Good pass by Poeta. Dembele did the best he could, really. Got the ball under control really quickly. And then his shot was blocked by Kevin. Sissoko. Brannigan. Jack Curry. Spencer. Poeta inside the fullback. Wing back, Ngakia. Vokes, this is a long way to go, but he does have a terrific throw. We saw a lot of it last season. Actually, we're ahead of the curve in terms of long throws. They were chucking it into the box last season on a number of occasions. In the cross goes, and once more, Watford are resilient. Sissoko gets it forward. Irankunda, free going through the centre. Irumgard, oh, what a save. Well, Cumming has had a mixed bag this afternoon, but you can put that in the tick box. So many options here. Irumgard it was who took up the ball, took up the initiative, and nearly put the game beyond Oxford. Be fancying his chances of getting on the end of this corner as well. Kayembe takes it, cleared away comfortably. Ngakia. Ngakia again, he is going to shoot. And he certainly looked like a defender there, didn't he? Can he score from corners? Yeah, that was like the Jeremy Ngaki, I think that Watford and West Ham players and fans will remember. Began his career in the East End of London. Maka goes back to his goalkeeper, coming with the clearance. Good feet from Dembele. Away from Elaine. Not the best of passes, though. He was doing his best, but he has to retreat back to his defensive position now. The man who had a wonderful night from his point of view in midweek, going back to Loftus Road. He's a Queen's Park Rangers fan as a kid. His family were all there. They're all Queen's Park Rangers supporters as well. He says it was nostalgic and a bit strange to be out there on the pitch, having spent so many afternoons and evenings watching from the stands. The draw was the ideal result for everybody. Dembele for Heta. Brannigan. And then again, Curry is in there. Helic. For Heta. Spencer. Vaux. Into the channels it goes, and Helic will chase, but he must have sensed from quite a early time in that race that he was going to lose. Now, Oxford United to lose here. 8 minutes to go. Those supporters behind the goal have given their team great support. But it's the Watford coaching staff who hold the cards at the moment. One final roll of the dice maybe for Gary Rowett. He wants his team to be a lot more competitive on the road. We've shown that in recent times with that win at Bristol City. First clean sheet of the season in midweek against QPR. They've had their moments here today, and I'm sure he will lament the fact the way they've conceded the 2 goals today, particularly the second one, of course. Brannigan. Long over the top. Abankwah finding Kayembe, who nearly gave the ball away. Elaine. Everything is backwards now. If there's a tough decision to make from a Watford point of view, safety first, understandably. "38 shots we've had today, only 12 on target." Ngakia taking the ball off for Heta. Sam Long. Vaux. Afternoon sunshine, it's for Heta, unable to get around Ngakia. As the stewards make their way around the pitch as they head towards the full-time whistle here. But not before a double change for Oxford. Tom Bradshaw will get his few minutes. Siriki Dembele, one of those to go off. And it's kitchen sink time from an Oxford point of view, with two of their centre forwards coming on. Mark Harris and Tom Bradshaw have 5 minutes plus stoppage time to try and grab a point for Oxford United. Wilkes with the throw. Flicked on. Bradshaw it was who was asking some questions. He's a seasoned centre forward. A really good spell, particularly one season for Millwall under Gary Rowett. And it's been frustrating for him this season. Lack of opportunities. You have to take them when they come your way. Same too for Mark Harris. After a flyer last season with all those goals that he scored on Oxford's return to the second tier. Yet to score this season though. Spencer for Heta will chase. Bankwa thought about putting it out of play and then realised he had decent possession of the ball. Bar is coming on for Watford. Applause for number 66, Iran Kunda, who goes off with a slightly different attitude this time round to the one he displayed at Fratton Park that got him into so much trouble with his coach in midweek. Into the air it goes, and Spencer was unable to get a flick on from an Oxford point of view. Ngakia gets it clear. Oxford scored in the opening 3 minutes of this game. Looking to try and grab a point here. Towards Helik, but away. Pedri. Sissoko goes through the centre. Quadro Bar bringing it forward for Watford. No hurry to take this corner. You're just coming in to watch the match. You're not seeing the score. You can work out which team is leading with 2 minutes to go. And Ngakia from the corner. If he was to score 2 goals from a corner, I think we would be having history on our hands here to complete his hat-trick as well. It's just too magical to think of from a Watford point of view. Just trying to find a bit of space here. And Ngakia again with the corner towards that near post. Helik gets it away. This is Bar going for goal. Good save coming. He just bounced up in front of him. Did enough. Quadro Bar not too far away from his second goal of the season in the Championship. Bounce in front of the goalkeeper. and he keeps his team in the game, albeit with time fast running out. Struggling here, and behind it goes for another corner. The presence of Sissoko causing problems in that 6-yard box. They're a tall team, Watford. Watford have dominated them in terms of scoring goals from set plays in the last couple of seasons. Into stoppage time, of which there is 5 minutes. And Gakia with the ball in. Kayembe. Mendy. And Gakia. Do well to stop that from going behind. Must be a big win this for Watford. Began the weekend in 16th place on just 9 points from 8 games. There has been a bit of rumbling of discontent from the home supporters about the appointment of Pezzolano during the summer. But if things stay as they are, that will be 2 wins and a draw in the last week. Isn't too shabby at all. We'll have a bit more time here to run the clock down after a injudicious tackle from Jack Curry, a referee who flashed a number of yellow cards in the first half, maybe thinking about another one here. For Heta. Kiersmacher. Brannigan. Brannigan again. It's patient at the moment from Oxford. Bradshaw lays it off, gets himself into the penalty area. In it comes. Might break for Bradshaw. Hooked away. That's brilliant from Elaine, who dealt with the first issue. Hit the deck, got back up and cleared the second one as well. Kiersmacher. For Heta. 2 in front of him. And Gakia and Sissoko. Between them, they buy Watford a little bit of time, and maybe more. Sissoko. Barr. Petrie getting forward as well. Barr goes for goal. For Heta away. Into the final minute. Oxford still in it, but only just. They've got to get the ball back somehow. Mendy. Sam Long. One of the visiting supporters getting frustrated. They want the ball forward as quick as possible. Eventually it does go long towards Hellick, who's playing as an emergency centre forward, and the shot will come in from Harris. That might just be it from an Oxford point of view. Mark Harris trying something spectacular. He's got to that point in the game. Watford are nearly there, but not quite. Brannigan. Hellick is the target. Wins the header. Brannigan. Frustration for Bradshaw, frustration for Oxford, but delight for Watford, who once again fall behind but show real character. They win this game by 2-1, thanks to a highly unlikely source. Jeremy Ngakia, just one goal in his career prior to today, but after 45 minutes of the game, he made it 1-1. And then in stoppage time in that first half, he scored an extraordinary goal from a corner. And Watford, who'd fallen behind due to an own goal from Max Elaine, were able to register a victory here this afternoon. Gary Rowett looked frustrated. An afternoon of what might have been. He will feel that they have gifted the points here today with some poor defending for both goals. But all that matters is the scoreline. Watford have won here today. Full time at Vicarage Road. It's Watford 2, Oxford 1.